There. Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Yep. All right. As always, first, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Kakodash.
Give a double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, tosses truth and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the Akim and Akwath out there listening and learning. This goes out to the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the Native Americans, Latino Americans, and so-called African Americans here in America scattered throughout the four corners of the world. This is a branch of Great Millstone, Chicago, coming to you with some more of it. I'm the brother Asher.
That's the brother Monarchy.
And Kaparia, a.k.a. Pops.
Like we always love to do, man, our spiritual sit-downs, we get to talking and meditating on the goodness of the Lord, man, and how awesome he truly is, man, and that we just got to stay rooted in our faith, man. And we were talking about, the healing, that the Lord is going to bring healing. He's going to renew our strength, man, and so we just got to wait on the Lord and be patient, and so that's what it's all about.
I'll jump it off.
Yeah. Let me grab that. Either wait on the Lord shall renew his strength. Was Isaiah 41?
Yeah. Mount up with wings.
Yep. He that waiteth, I think it's Isaiah 41. Yeah. It's 41 to 15, I believe. That ain't it. The wait on the Lord.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it real quick.
This Isaiah.
Renew his wings.
Yeah, this Isaiah 40 and 31.
That's 40 and 31.
It say,
yeah.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up. So I'm gonna start at 30.
Right. Okay. No, start 29.
29. Yeah.
Right.
This Isaiah 40 and 29. He give power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increased strength.
So this is what we talk about when we saying the fact that, like I said, it ain't about us in the first place, because we're waiting on Yahweh Shai and the power that he's going to bestow in the process of. Like I said, to put Esau down, it ain't going to be through our power, it's going to be through his power. Okay, so go ahead.
It say, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall.
So fail. Oh yeah, no, so fall. But so and that's what it is. Like I said, these 2/3 out here that think that they gonna be able to, with their switches and this, that, and other, and all this other kind of stuff. All this
right.
this third tier, fourth tier technology is gonna be able to go up against this man in his first tier, because
right.
he's been given the first tier of the sword. Okay, and he always gonna have the first tier of the sword until Yahweh Shai shows up. When Yahweh sends Yahweh Shai back, that's when the ultimate tier of power and physics and everything else that he knows that he presents himself to be God through his technology. That's when the real first tier of power is going to show up. And when that happens, then this man's gonna find himself out of power, of being able to compete with the ultimate power that's going to be presented to him in his face. Go ahead.
Right. And on a deeper, and also another level, that over past generations of years, we have got weaker with the different foods, the body, like everything, man. Like back when King David and our ancient fathers was actually living, they was able to slay thousands and
tens of thousands
of men. Right. Now these days, niggas ain't slaying nobody.
Hey, exactly what it says with Samson when he was powered up and whatnot. He took a jawbone of an ass and killed 3,000. Then when he pulled the temple down and whatnot on all the motherfuckers, what happened? He said he killed more and pulling the temple down than he did in his whole entire lifetime.
Yeah. So over the process of the generation, over the years, over different captivities, we starting to get weaker and weaker. The earth even getting weaker and weaker, man. But verse 31, it say, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we waiting on. We waiting on that the new bodies, man. Uh-huh. So that we don't have to ever get sick, or we don't have to ever get worried, or back aching or body not functioning right, man. This is a weak body that we in, man. This weak change of darkness.
Facts.
And we need the Lord, man. But
Facts.
guess what? In order to conquer that, we conquer that through what? Prayer, fasting, and what? Reading his word, man.
And faith.
And yeah, this faith.
Yeah.
Because without this faith, we ain't gonna be able to do nothing. That's
Right.
why we believe in Yahweh Shema Shah. We believe in his word because with this word, everything is possible, man.
Calm. Got some more on that?
No.
All right, then. I'm going to go into Isaiah 57:1 because, like you said, you got to have the faith in this, that, and other. And that's how come, like I said, not just the older men, but even the younger men. The faith is going to give them the ability to stare death in his eyes and not be afraid because they understand that, it's all part of the reincarnation mode that has to happen anyway. And in their in the hopeful elect case, it says whoever did he call on and he forsake. Okay.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other. So with all those things being known and you trusting like you said, trusting in the Lord, trusting in the word, and this, that, and other, since he's going to be protecting them, is one or two things going to happen. Either they go live long enough to be part of the standard raised, or they go perish and then be mixed in with the standard that's being raised. So it says here, Isaiah 57:1, the righteous perisheth, and no man lay it to heart. So the righteous perisheth. It don't say the wicked, it says the righteous perisheth, and no man lay it to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. Because like I said, we all got a very evil, trying time that's going to be brought to us, where the trust of Yahweh Shai is absolutely going to be cemented and proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay? He shall enter into peace and shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. So, what does it say? But the scripture says that those that died in Yahweh Shai shall raise up first.
That's right.
Okay? So, whether or not you get transposed straight from it, or you die and you raise up to it, the scripture tells you that your work is going to follow you.
That's right.
Because you held on to your faith until the end. You say, he that's willing to lose his life shall find it. He that is not willing to lose his life have already lost it. Okay, whatever y'all got, go ahead.
This is I want to get this mark right quick because, like you said, this is the ultimate test of our faith, right? That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Do we believe the words that the Lord said, and we standing on it? Whether it goes one way or another, we are counted to. So the just shall live by faith.
Right.
So that's where we at with it. You know what I mean? Regardless of the outcome, we know the Lord is able to do exceedingly above and beyond what we could ever hope for or even imagine and dream. So. I'm gonna grab this, you know what I mean? This is Matthew. This is one of my favorite scriptures. This is Mark 5, and I'm gonna start it off, 27. I'm gonna start at 25. It's Mark 5 and 25. And it says, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, right? So this woman was suffering 12 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it says, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and nothing better, but rather grew worse.
She kept. It's like we were just talking about earlier. About you keep taking your whip to the fucking mechanic,
Right?
And he keep charging you money. He keeps saying he did some shit,
Right?
But you still got the same fucking ailments.
Exactly.
What the fuck's going on, man?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so she looking at that, but how much more important with her own health?
Exactly.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Al.
it says, when she had heard of Yahweh Shai, came in. So like when she had heard of Yahweh Shai, came in the press behind and touched his garment. So when she heard of Yahweh Shai, she came in the press behind him and touched his garment.
I just want to touch his garment. And her faith was based on that. Go ahead.
Yep. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague.
Go ahead.
And Yahweh Shai, immediately knowing himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes?
Right.
And his disciples said unto him, Thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest, Who have touched me?
Yeah, and see, and they didn't understand. He was like, "Man, we and all these people are touching you. So what are you talking about?" But one came up there with a purpose. She said, "I'm gonna touch, and I'm gonna draw some of this power out of him." And I, cause she knew in her mind, her face, like, if I just touch him,
exactly,
I'm gonna be fixed. I'm gonna be corrected.
Facts.
And this, that, and other. Go ahead.
And he looked around about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done to her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of thy plague.
That's it.
So the important part of that is the amount of faith we have. You know what I mean? And that's where we at with it. The faith is going to make us whole.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if it does not, it ain't because our faith was not there. It's just because his perfect will was doing something else.
Right.
Like you said earlier.
Like I said, some are designed to be martyrs. Right. So they can have whole faith, but they were designed to be a martyr. Okay, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason that it may be, you know, like I said, you know, because in the Apocrypha it says how, you know, some go be crying. Some go be this, some go be that, some go be in chains and whatnot. So you go have the elect coming. Some of them go be happy. Some of them go be so happy that they go be crying because of it. And this, that, and other. So, you know, like I said, because you know, the person that feel as though they did, well, none of us go feel that we deserved it. But in the process of, like I said, I did so much wrong. I did so much fucking wicked, and he showed mercy on me.
Right.
That'll break you down on a whole different level.
Facts. You know what scriptures say, don't let your sins weigh you down.
Right.
So
exactly.
you know what I mean. At the end, and you know,
but it still weighs on you.
Right. But you know,
I know you say don't weigh you down. Means don't have it where you walk away from the truth and not do the work in the process of.
And don't let it weigh you down. And don't let it weigh you down where you don't believe what he said.
Right.
If he said it's gonna come to pass.
Right.
Okay. You know what I mean? And that's where we at with it. You got something going? Yeah.
This James 5:13. It say, "Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any married? Let him sing songs. If any sick among you, let him call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord." Man, that's what we does. That's why we pray. That's why we actually pray a lot, man. When someone's sick or have ailments, you pray over that brother, and then you leave it into the Lord's hands, man. They say, and the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have commit sins, they shall be forgiven of him, man. So you got to have that faith. With that faith, with all the brothers believing, and also ultimately you believing, man, you shall be healed in due time.
Facts.
Hey, but it's all upon the Lord, man. You got to know that the Lord is working with you, man. It's like verse 16, confess your faults to one another and pray for one another that you might be healed. The effectual, fervent prayers of a righteous man avail much, man. And that's what it is. You got to constantly bug the Lord. Because the more you pray, the more you believe, the more these things is going to happen for you, man. It might not happen right then and when you want to. Sometimes it does. It just depends on your faith. Facts. Right then, just like that woman. As soon as she touched her, she was instantly healed.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember, man, we went to Atlanta. Matter of fact, we went to Atlanta first and talked, and we was talking about the brother lawyer. And guess what? I believe like 2 weeks later, we flew out to Florida. And the Atlanta brothers came out to Florida when we flew out. It was me and St. Benji, and it was a bunch of brothers. And we prayed over lawyer, the brother from Miami, the elder brother, beloved brother, man. Hey, and he was healed from his sickle cell, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that ever in my life. Hey, because that brother been battling sickle cell for years since he been in the truth. As soon as we prayed over that brother, that since that day forward, that man, he was able to go to the gym. He wasn't even able to go to the gym at first. But now he able to go to the gym. He's
swole up now.
Man, that man doing all type of things. But like I said, all things is possible with the Lord.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, lying back off of you as far as that testimony, it was like there's been times where I saw him kind of laying on capo, and he was just so weak and out of it and the whole deal.
Man,
And this,
bro.
that, and the other. So yeah. That's what that was. And Lord, but that's a mighty testimony that it happened like that. And then, like I said, because like I said, he couldn't work out because if y'all don't understand what sickle cell is, for the ones of y'all that don't understand what sickle cell is, you think of your red blood cells like a circular glob. Sickle cell takes that circular glob and turn it into a crescent moon and whatnot, like a quarter moon and whatnot, and it hardens so that it's hard to go through the veins themselves.
Yeah.
So
and it lock up your bones and tends to hurt,
right.
So that you can't move to a point that you don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, this is like I said. Think about somebody that feels like they got shards of razor blades running through their skin, running through their body and whatnot. That's what it feels like. Where you so busy just trying to keep your mind at peace while you go through the pain that it's causing, and this, that, and other. So yeah, so that's a heck of a thing. And like I said, I learned about that long before I was ever in the truth. I knew a female that had sickle cell and how I used to break her down. So yeah, so that was what it was. But go ahead, man, whatever scriptures y'all got.
I got one more. They say, there's Wisdom of Solomon 16:12. For it was neither herb nor modified posture that restored them to health, but the word of Yahweh which healeth all things, man. So, hey, it don't matter how much herb you take. It don't matter how much things that you do. Hey, if you don't have this word through faith, guess what? If the Lord don't want you to be healed and you don't have that faith, you won't be healed, man. That's what counts. That's what is going to make you whole in that day. It's this word, man. It's the faith of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Bashar, man.
Okay. Okay, let me see. You got anything else?
Yeah, I had
Go ahead.
Psalms. This is Psalms. So many of them is Psalms.
Right.
Psalms 107. I'll jump down. Let's see where it's at. Psalm 107. I'm starting at 19. It's Psalms 107 and 19. Then they cry unto Yahweh in their trouble, and He saved them out of their distresses. Right.
Right.
This is obviously the Slocky. It says the Lord delivers men from manifold troubles. That's the beginning of this. So in this one, in Psalm 19, He's saying they cry to Yahweh in trouble, and He saved them out of their distresses. He sent His word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions.
Okay.
So them crying out and praying to the Lord is always, like you were talking about earlier, whoever you called on who you have not helped, you know what I mean? That's the rock. So the Lord is nigh to them, especially the cries of His righteous. So whatever perplexes you, whatever you're going through, you cry to the Lord. And like it said here, He healed them from that and delivered them and healed them from all their destructions.
Right.
And that's the beautiful thing about calling on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. First of all, you're not calling on the right name. It's not even going to pierce the clouds.
Yeah, so because all the people on their knees crying out to Jesus Christos.
Yeah.
Cheese. What y'all call
cheesy rice.
Cheesy rice. There it is. Cheesy rice. There it is. Cheesy rice and whatnot. That whole deal and whatnot. That y'all on y'all hands, all y'all doing is putting calluses on y'all knees for nothing, for the most part. So you got anything else?
Yeah, this is Psalms 30 and this is a Thanksgiving from death, and this is David. Okay. It says like a psalm and a song at the dedication of the house of David will extol thee, O Yahweh, thou hast lifted me up, has not made my foes to rejoice over me.
Right.
O Yahweh, my power, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. O Yahweh, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave, thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. And David was always perplexed and going through it, through whatever was happening, you know what I mean? Whether Saul was persecuting him, chasing him, whether his enemies had him encamped about, David went through it, you know what I mean? But every time he cried to the Lord delivered him.
Yeah, that was where he drew his strength from. The fact that he always consulted with the Lord
Right.
as far as so he won his battles because he knew what battles he was going to be able to win. Why? Because the Lord told him what he was going to be able to do in
Exactly.
the process of. So he never had to take on a battle that he would lose, because as long as he inquired of the Lord said, "I'm gonna put this on you for you to be able to be victorious," and that's why, like I said, Yahweh Shai had the peaceful kingdom, but David was the warrior.
Facts.
And he couldn't build the house of the Lord because he had so much blood on his hands.
Yep, exactly. It had to be built by his son Solomon.
Right.
Yep.
Which made sense because that was Yahweh Shai, if y'all can receive that.
Facts. Yep. Come back reincarnated. Yeah, you got something going.
Yeah, this is it. This is all I'm gonna have for this. This is 1 Corinthians 15. I'm gonna start at about 50. Now I say this, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. So like we were saying, some go die, some not go die.
Yeah.
Okay, what I was saying earlier. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the victory of that is written. Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? So, like I said, you believing in these scriptures, this is where your mind goes to.
Facts.
Like I said, like when Stephen was being stoned.
Oh man, yeah.
He didn't feel that. All he saw was Yahweh Shai on the right hand side of Yahweh, and this, that, and other that was going on. And he actually, and since Saul was in the midst of it, what did he say? He basically told them, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why? Because Saul was in the midst of that.
Yeah.
And Saul was, and when Saul became Paul, he realized, I didn't. Oh fuck! I martyred a man.
Yeah, exactly.
I martyred basically a real disciple of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Fuck. So you talk about your mind and not letting your sins weigh you down.
Facts. You're right. And Saul was persecuting the hell out of him.
That's
You're
it.
right. He was right there with Sister Stephen got stoned. So you're right, Zaquan. But he didn't let that stop him from doing his mission. He just went at it 10 times hard.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And to make up for it.
That's it. Yeah, he just kept plugging.
Right.
And this, that, and other. And had to suffer through all the other ailments and whatnot. Sure, hey, he's able to cure other people, but he had to carry his own ailments.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that nothing?
That's power Yahweh Shai. Not to get too lifted up.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna let you heal them, but you're gonna have to go through it.
You got to go through it. Exactly. So this is all about the faith of Yahweh, your faith in Yahweh Shai, and absolute trust that he is who he say he is, and he's gonna do exactly what he say he's gonna do.
Yeah, but how much more now in the times ahead?
That's it.
You know what I mean? Because he said when he comes, will he find faith on earth? So at the end of our job, we got to live by it. We got to stand on the faith.
Right.
10 toes down. Win, lose, or draw. We got to stand on the faith.
That's it.
And it's all a win for us.
That's it.
Because like you said, our works follow.
Exactly.
God.
So, hey, we hope that was edifying for the hopeful elect. That, like I said, healing and standing on your faith is going to be an absolute must in these last days.
That's right.
Okay, the healing and the standing on your faith is going to be an absolute in these last days. And so with that, we want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikah Kodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York and the elder bishops out of Connecticut. Again, double honors, because they do rule well for the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies, and interaction with the people. We send a hearty shalom, doing it sincerely, correctly, and directly. Hopefully, again, we wish that this is an edifying session. So for For the hope, all of the hopeful elect, we send a hearty shalom, and for the rest of the world, a Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.